All right, today we're jumping into a really profound concept for personal growth, one that's right at the heart of Step 6. We're going to get into the psychology of what it actually means to become willing to change. And believe me, it's not as straightforward as it sounds.
So let's kick things off with this really powerful statement from a clergyman friend of AA. Think about that for a second. This isn't just another item on a checklist. It's framed as a massive challenge, a real turning point. So what is it about this step that separates the men from the boys? Let's dig in and find out.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with what makes this the ultimate challenge. Then we'll uncover this fascinating paradox, a miracle and a riddle. After that, we'll look at what our flaws are really made of, why we kind of secretly love them, and then, finally, we'll talk about what the real goal is. And it's probably not what you think.
Okay, first up, the ultimate challenge. What does it really mean to be separated from the boys? Well, according to the source material, it's all about being willing to go all in. It's about applying this principle of change to every single one of our faults with absolutely no reservations.
And this, right here, just elevates the whole thing, doesn't it? We're talking about something much bigger than just fixing a few bad habits. This is presented as a deep, fundamental commitment to becoming the best version of ourselves, a really sincere and profound kind of transformation. Now, for anyone who's been through the program, this isn't just some abstract idea, it's a fact of life. And that experience brings us to something truly incredible, a miracle. But, right on the heels of that miracle, there's this really confusing riddle.
So the miracle is this core experience that so many people talk about. It's this unbelievable release from a relentless, life-destroying obsession. I mean, it's a change that felt totally impossible through sheer willpower, and then poof, it's just lifted.
And this slide just lays out the central puzzle perfectly. If some power greater than ourselves can grant this total 100% release from alcoholism, then why not from everything else? Why do all those other flaws, those other defects, seem to stick around so stubbornly?
This is the big question. The source actually calls it a riddle of our very existence. And yeah, maybe the complete answer is something we'll never fully grasp. But we are given a pretty compelling piece of the puzzle, a clue that really helps make sense of it all. So what's the clue? Well, the whole explanation really hangs on this crucial distinction between what's natural to us and what's basically an act of self-destruction. See, the argument here is that destructive drinking is fundamentally unnatural. It flies in the face of our most basic instinct to survive. But most of our other flaws, they aren't unnatural at all. They're actually rooted in healthy, normal instincts, things like the drive for security or success that have just gone way, way too far.
So here's the bottom line. Most of our character defects aren't like some disease that you need to completely cut out. Nope. They're actually our natural drives that have just gotten out of whack. They're good things that we've allowed to run wild, and they just need to be brought back into balance.
Okay, this next part gets really personal, maybe a little uncomfortable. If these flaws are causing so many problems in our lives, why on earth do we cling to them so tightly? Why is letting go so hard?
We all have it. It's what the text calls a sticking point. That line in the sand where we say, nope, not that one, I can't give that up. And the reason we do it is, and this is the crazy part, on some level, we actually get a kick out of our defects. We get a weird kind of satisfaction from them. We kind of love them.
And what's so fascinating here is how we rename our flaws to make them sound better, right? Greed, well, that's just ambition. That self-righteous anger, that just gives us a comfortable feeling of superiority. And gluttony, that's just taking our comfort. We do this because deep down, we're getting something out of them. So, if our flaws are this deep, and we even get some weird pleasure from them, what's the actual goal here? What are we supposed to do? Well, the text is super clear about one thing. The goal is not to become perfect overnight. And here it is. This is the key. This step isn't about finishing a job. It's about finding the best possible attitude to make a beginning. Notice it calls this a lifetime job. So the real goal isn't arriving at the destination. It's just about pointing our will in the right direction and being willing to start the journey. This is the enemy right here. This is the mindset of resistance. The second we draw that line in the sand and say never, we slam the door shut on any possibility of change. It's like we're telling the universe, nope, no help needed here, and we just stay stuck. So, the way forward is all about this massive mental shift. It's about looking toward an ideal, getting rid of those I will never statements, and just starting.
It's a shift from being stuck in one place to being willing to go on a journey.
At the end of the day, the big takeaway is this. Progress is the goal, not perfection. It seriously doesn't matter how slowly you go or how many times you stumble. The only thing that really truly matters is that you're ready to start walking in a new direction.
And that leaves us with one last kind of provocative thought to chew on. Because whether we're talking about a journey of 1,000 miles or a lifetime of growth, every single one starts with that one simple, powerful, and absolutely world-changing step of just becoming willing.